Oh, I'm live. Hello. I guess I'll actually get to the beginning of the run. Hello, I'm David. I'll be running this game F0X. It's a game for N64. I'll just be doing all the tracks in time attack in consecutive order and kind of explaining about some of the tech and stuff like that as I go. Started here, just a sec. Okay, yeah. So I guess I can give a countdown, and then we can get started. If you guys are ready. Are we good, or? Yeah, countdown, okay. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so this game basically has 24 tracks. There's a few different vehicles I'll be using, but this is going to be one of them. This game has a drifting technique called sliding, where if you set the acceleration versus max speed bar that was just on that previous screen all the way to the left, then when you're driving sideways you can drift and accelerate a lot faster than you can normally go. It kind of does have like a speed cap to a degree though, so a lot of times I'll like drift in certain places to get up to speed and then I'll straighten out afterwards. Also, there's an energy bar on the top right, which starting on lap 2 I can use to exchange for boosting. It's basically the same as the boost panels on the ground. Although in the case of this vehicle, the boost is actually stronger than the boost panels on the ground. So generally strats will be different per lap depending on energy management. The big thing about this game, the reason why I'm not taking turns so tightly, is because you have to manage your grip, and it's really easy to lose grip, especially with the when you have full acceleration settings, you have less grip, and then with the vehicles that are best for drifting, for sliding I mean, you also have very low grip on them as well. So if I try and take turns too tightly, I'll like lose grip. And if I'm going fast and I lose grip, then I'll lose all my speed really quickly. So what makes that car better than the best? So there's a few things that are important. One of them is having an A rank boost, and then the biggest thing is the E rank grip. I guess those are both about equally important for drifting. And then also the fact that it's a little bit heavier makes it a better option than the other vehicle that also has those same stats. Also, this vehicle, so this course doesn't really have enough turns for you to slide on. So use a vehicle that instead is lighter, and then since the slider has better acceleration than the alternative, it's got better grip, so it makes it easier here. This is 1davidj, so this course you can actually use some drifting strategies. Kind of depends on the strat you're going for. Basically, just do a couple like wall drifts if you're using that, and use one of the other vehicles. But this course is probably like the dullest one, but it's got a lot of boosters, so you go pretty quick. I'm actually going to skip a booster here, because like I kind of alluded to earlier, if you have an A rank boost, your boost is actually stronger than boost panels, because boost panels have a C rank strength. So, and if you hit a boost panel on the ground, it stops your energy boost. So, proper strats for that course will pretty much run out of energy right when you get to the refiller again, because you want to use as much of your manual boost as possible. This course also, I'm going to be using the non-sliding strat is called jumper. The term kind of comes from like an old like manual for the game. The term doesn't really mean much, but it's just the term that's used. So the first cup has a lot of jumper courses because it's a relatively straightforward cup with not that many difficult courses or very many turns. Also, I did a glitch coming out of that pipe called the double tap dive, which I'll explain more later. But basically, something that I use a lot for turning is if you double tap the R or Z buttons, which are the strafe buttons, then you can kind of like do a side attack in that direction. And those are really useful for turning because you don't. Oops, I fell off there. You don't lose grip when you're doing it really, so it allows you to take turns a lot sharper than you'd be able to otherwise. It's especially important at high speeds, but if your vehicle's sideways when you're in the air and you double tap to the side that's raised up, then you can accelerate really quickly as you fall. from a dive. So I just get like a little tiny one here. There's bigger ones later, you'll see, but so like I just did a couple there to like help him take that turn. So that boost is really hard to get because it's like right next, or it's like right before a pretty sharp turn. So I can't really like take the turn early if I want to get it. So I'll miss that one a lot, but it's not the end of the world. So back to more sliding. The run's going to be mostly sliding, but there's a few jumper courses here and there. This course basically it's got a few turns. There's like one here at the beginning, and then especially on boost laps, pretty much like you take that turn and get up to a good amount of speed, and then you just kind of carry the speed through the rest of the course pretty well. But, something I didn't really explain is the rail drifts that I'm doing. You can basically just do a drift in a line along a wall if you, as long as you have the energy to spare. So it's worth it on lap 1 a lot of times. A lot of times on lap 1 there'll be a refill at the end, so I can replenish that before I start the boost lap. That was boost lap use. So I'm going to stop boosting here just for a sec because I won't have enough boost to be able to boost drift this turn without hitting walls, dying. So. Also, that brown stuff is dirt, which slows you down quite a bit, but if you're boosting, it actually doesn't matter. It doesn't do anything to you, so. However, there's going to be another jumper course here. This course is just a cylinder, so you can kind of like drive all over it. It's really hard to keep grip on cylinders because you lift off really easily. And whenever you're in the air, you're considered as not having any grip, so pretty much the goal for this is just to kind of spin around and hit as many of the boosters as I can. Which is a bit tough. I kind of have to use like double tap turns. I'll skip that like second to last one on boost laps because it loses too much speed to go down and get it, but yeah, the countdown robot's voice is really weird. This is a little jump I can go for here. I can fall next to the cylinder, but I wasn't considered close enough to the cylinder to be attached to its gravity. So since I was falling, I picked up quite a bit of speed. It's kind of dangerous though. If you fall a little bit too far, you hit a kill plane. But finished it there. Wasn't too bad. So that's the last jumper course for a while. I guess there's 2 in the next cup, but they're going to be mostly slider courses from here on out. This game really likes to have like hidden boosters where like there'll be a little mound on the ground, and then right after the mound is where the booster is. It's like I know where it is, but sometimes I'll just miss it because I don't see it coming up like that. But this course has like a pretty big drop, so you can do a big double tap dive on it, which is pretty dangerous and I can die a lot on. So I'll try it like one more time, and if I die I'll just skip it, but if you do it right you can hit the ground with a lot of speed, but it's really hard to control your dives during a double tap dive. Because like when your vehicle's sideways, you don't really have much control over it. Meanwhile you're like mashing a trigger and trying to land back on the course, so most of the control comes from during the setup, which I kind of messed up a little bit. There we go. So I land with like 1700, whereas like, oh, also it has me racing a ghost because you can save one ghost at a time in the game, and I happen to have it set to racing I happen to have the ghost saved on this course, so that's the ghost that I'm racing. So yeah, you can also just like point down like that on boost laps instead. It is a little bit faster to like take that slight loss of refill there to hit the booster, because it's only like a quarter second of lost refill time, but like a whole boost length worth advantage, or boost obviously. So I died right before crossing the finish, but as long as the vehicle goes across the finish line, it's fine. So I just took like a boost rail slide to finish it off there. So here I'm going to be using, it's the only time I use any vehicle that doesn't have an A-rank boost, but this is a really heavy vehicle, so it's got pretty good top speed, but it still has an E-rank grip, which means it's a good sliding vehicle. And then it also has an A body, so it can get a little bit longer of a rail slide here, which kind of makes up for the lack of A rank boost. And it's still a B rank boost, so it's pretty good. But the main thing is that it's an E rank grip, so it's best for drifting with the heaviest weight available for that. So that refill is really hard to get sometimes because the turn's kind of weird, but well, I guess. So that's another example of like a blind booster. Like I know where it is, it's in the middle of the track, but I just always miss it because I can't like see it coming up. It's really bad. I actually started lift off there because like for a lot of this course you're like sideways or upside down. I like this little drop there if you're too far to the right, which I actually hit for a moment, but managed to not die. That was really bad, but whatever. Oh yeah, the game also saves your acceleration versus max speed settings per course and per vehicle. So, even though I've never used Astro Robin, which is the vehicle I accidentally selected there, since I ever started speedrunning, I've owned the game since like probably before the year 2000. I don't know what year we got it in 64, but so all like the random vehicles from as a kid, we have like random settings saved on random courses with it. It's kind of funny. Tried to do like a little rail slide there at the end, but I actually lost speed from it. was already kind of going too fast before I started it. So this is going to be another jumper course. The record actually uses sliding here, but main reason for that is that when you have slider settings, you get a lot more speed out of double tap dives, and you can set up for them easier because you have better floating. But I'm not really doing any on this course. It's pretty hard to get use out of them, so this vehicle has the same settings as 1davidj, except it's just way heavier. And then I have like the highest max speed settings you can pick, except basically you have like 7 ticks in either direction from 0. It's like +7 up to -7, but the last two, like +2 ticks for some reason, you have like disproportionately low acceleration compared to the max speed that they give you. So this has, I have +5, which is basically the highest you can go without hitting that weird situation with that. So it's the heaviest A rank booster vehicle. Oops. That's kind of dangerous. Ah, shit. Messed up the double tap dive there. I like kind of only just started doing that double tap dive, so I wanted to go for it once, but you didn't really get much height out of it, so you didn't really have much time to set up. So it's easy to not to mess up. So normally I just do that. There's a little trick with jump plates where if you just flick up for a moment right as you hit it, then I guess it's not really a trick, but it just gives like the optimal combination of speed and distance out of it. Like you get the most time in the air that you accelerate on. So if you just like flick up for a moment, you land with the most speed. Oh, oops. So you may notice, like starting on boost laps, I pretty much don't drift unless I boost with it, and reasons like that is why. Because if you're going over around like 900 to 1000, or pretty much like the faster you're going, the less control you have during a drift, and the less effective it is. So usually around like 900 to 1000 is like the max speed you can really get for non-boosted drifts. So I only went for that drift because I was out of energy, and I was like, well, okay, might be fine. And then I just kind of hit the wall too much and died. But whereas like with boost drifting, the effective speed's up to around like 1600 or so. Oops. It'll only get you up to like 12 or 13, well, maybe like 13 or 1400 or something like that, but the effective speed's up to around 1600. I just don't boost drift around there because I would get too much speed and then wouldn't get any energy. Also, starting that rail slide was pretty slow too, but whatever. Rail slides are like rarely worth it, but I tend to go for them if I feel like it'll be worth it at all, because they're fun. Also, generally the reason for using Bloodhawk over Night Thunder is that Bloodhawk gets more speed out of double tap dives, and since those are used on nearly every course at the high level, it ends up being used more often in general. But like in the case of that last course, they're more effective there, or it's more effective there for that reason. Because since I don't use them, I use Bloodhawk. But in the case of this course, even though it doesn't have any double tap dives, Bloodhawk just has better handling because it's lighter, so it's easier to make the turns and stuff. Even still, I like Crash a lot, but. And this is going to be another jumper course for now. And then I don't think... Oh, there's one in the next cup. I think it's the last one. Here's another example of like a hidden booster. You get like, I don't know, half a second to see it or something like that. It's fortunate the course is kind of narrow, so like you don't really miss it, but since like you're on the inside of a loop, you can't really see very far.
You got post power.
I kind of like hit the dirt there for a moment between boosts, so I like the dirt started to slow me down for a second. Generally, my boost strategy is to boost out all at once. So like I boost out those 5 times, and then probably shouldn't have boosted there, but I have a little bit extra boost here. But usually, like I'll boost out all at once so that I can get like the whole time that I'm boosting, I'm accelerating. So I spend the most time at the increased speed. But rather than like boosting, kind of like in separate places. But in the case of lap 3 here, I have a little bit extra energy, so. So that's kind of sloppy, but whatever. This is Firefield. I can die a bunch here. This is a big jump that I can go for at the beginning. Like I try and lift off, and then it's pretty easy. You have to like land back when it's super narrow. But I didn't quite get the lift off there, but you just lift off for a moment, and then you get like an early dive before the big jump, and it ends up being quite a bit faster. You do that. Also, this course would look a lot more impressive if I was any good at double tap dives, but I'm like not good enough at them to actually go for them. So this is bad. So that was pretty sloppy, but at least I didn't die, so. Oh, there's actually 2 jumper courses in this cup, now that I think about it. Although one of them's kind of weird, so I'll explain when I get there. I'm gonna not boost until I actually get to the spiral here, just because I used a little bit too much boost on that one. The spiral's kind of annoying because like if you miss one of these boosters, you kind of have to boost again to compensate. It's like I was saying earlier about how like your handling changes quite a bit based on like how fast you're going when you're drifting. Whether or not you're in boost state affects that. So if I miss one of the boosters, I have to boost myself to stay in boost state, so that I don't like lose all my speed and get destroyed basically. So that was a top 5 time. If you get a top 5 time, you have to like put in a 3-letter thing. So slight time loss for that. But this first jumper course I was talking about, it's a little bit faster to do with slider, not because of actually sliding, but because the double tap dives really. Again, since I'm not going for them, it's fine. There's like a skip you can do where you can skip this loop if you're high enough in the air, boost laps. Also, there's a little thing here, if you're going too fast you can lift off, and yeah, that. If you handle it right, actually that was fine there, but if you handle it right you can like turn around in the air and then get like a big double tap dive drop. You like pretty much have to do it blind as you like turn around backwards, but I'm no good at it, so I haven't really learned it yet. So in general I just try and slow down a little bit enough. Usually that means tapping on the brake, but at least on boost laps usually. I thought I was fine there though, so I didn't. Just okay. But you land like here-ish when you do it. It's really weird. Also, something I did like a little bit earlier, but I'll do a couple more times, is if there's no walls and the course is falling, then normally when like the course is falling, as long as you're attached to the course, since it's like an anti-gravity racer kind of, you'll just kind of cling to it like normal. But if you drive off and then fall yourself with like the global gravity, then you'll gain speed, even though you're just like next to the track. So also that death was done. I just kind of drove off.
Got boost power! Yeah! Final lap!
Probably could have boosted one more time there, but this course has a pretty cool skip. I'll do like 10 seconds in or so. It's about halfway through the lap. It's like a place where if you're going too fast you lift off, so if it wasn't for the skip you'd have to slow down there anyway. But you can just do the skip and it's a lift off instead. I just kind of like float over here. Land back over here. In addition to being like a really curvy course, it's better for sliding anyway. The fact that you can get the skip on lap 1 with sliding, you can't do it with jumper, pretty much blows jumper out of the water here. So that skip was fairly slow, but I wanted to play it safe, so. Yeah, top 5 time. If the time is like flashing red, that means it was top 5. So this course I was talking about, that's kind of like a jumper course, but it's weird. Pretty much, since it's a half pipe, there's a glitch. Or it's essentially the double tap dive glitch, except it works on the ground in a half pipe. Not quite to the same degree, but to a degree it works in a half pipe. So and just kind of ride on the walls and then mash that respective trigger and go really fast. It's pretty hard to control though. Since the course like twists around a lot, then when you're going at high speed, it's really easy to just kind of get flicked out of it. Also on this ground, it's like really hard to do it. Just like that specific end of the half pipe, for some reason, it's like way harder. Not really sure why. Oh. Not good. I like managed to save it kind of by getting lucky and then messed up again anyway. It's also like, it's kind of risky because you have to be like pretty close to the edge of the half pipe to actually get the speed out of it. And then obviously the closer you are to the edge, the easier it is to die. So I'll try not to die too much more. Just play a little safer, but okay, I should probably stop dying. Yeah, it's really easy to just like die over and over on this course. It's kind of bad about that. That's why my estimate's high. Oh my god. Alright, if I die one more time, I'll just move on from the course. Get the point. Yeah, that last lap is more what it looks like if you're not abusing the double tap trick so much. Somehow that was a top 5 time, probably because I actually just like finished one. Also, this course is pretty cool. It's got a lot of jump plates, so there's a lot of opportunities for double tap dives. It's also a course I can die a lot on, but I don't think it'll be too bad, hopefully. most of them that I go for are fairly safe, so. That being the unsafe one, but I was only going to go for it on the opener. There's actually a glitch in this game called the jump plate glitch, where if you're going too fast, and you go from being completely on one side of the jump plate to completely on the other side, between frames. Also, I did the wrong setup there, I'm dumb. You can kind of clip through it. So it's an issue for like super high level runs on this course, but the shots I'm going for is not too bad, usually. I pretty much only get it on that last jump plate of the course there. And even that's like rare. I got it one time in practice earlier, but I was like trying to figure out how I wanted to drift the ending, and I just ended up bouncing back and forth instead. Yeah, so that's me City 3. Of course, looks like really crazy when you get really good at it. And like, for example, that run was 12 seconds off my PB. My openers can be like 6 seconds better, and then the boost lap's like quite a bit better too. This is my favorite course. It's Rainbow Road. It's actually the same course layout as the Rainbow Road from N64, except it's quite a bit smaller, and it's got a lot of sections with no walls and stuff like that. Just generally way cooler. Well, there's no DK in the distance for me to throw bananas at, unfortunately, but outside of that, it's pretty cool. But yeah, it's a great slider course because of all the turns and stuff. Yeah, no expansion kit music, unfortunately. If you have the expansion kit, which is a extremely expensive add-on for the N64 called the N64 disk drive, there's 2 extra cups and a course editor, vehicle editor, and then on this course there's like a custom song that's a kind of more metal variation of the N64 Rainbow Road music. It's pretty sick. You can also play it on EverDrive, although I got an EverDrive and then it wasn't working. Like you have to have like a combined ROM, and it wasn't working for me. And then I kind of stopped messing with it, so I got distracted with other stuff. But I thought about doing this run on that, just so I could have the music, but I didn't end up getting it set up. So. That was bad. Took a lot of damage on that. So I'm actually gonna like not boost drift this. So I have enough energy. Also, the hairpin turn's pretty hard to take, just because like you want to start it as early as possible since it's a hairpin, but if you take it too early and hit the wall like that, then it's really slow. Better. Also, those are mines. They pop you up into the air and do some damage to you. Generally, I avoid them pretty well, but on the third lap, sometimes you hit them. Sometimes you hit them on the first lap too, but it's not a big deal there. It's mostly just a big deal on the second lap because it stops you from getting refill and stuff. So this course is kind of cool. Basically, it's just like the course is mirrored, and there's two places where it like flips over, so you get the same thing twice. You see, like the other course is right above me, or other half of the course rather. It's like one of the flips is right here, and that upturn kills like all of your speed pretty much, no matter how fast you're going. So the other one's in this little pipe here. You can actually like drift sideways in pipes if depending on the pipe, but it's kind of weird. Unfortunately, when you're upside down and there's no walls, then if you slip off, then like there's no chance of like half saving yourself. Whereas like sometimes if you fall off, you can like float upwards if you're going very fast. You can save yourself a little bit, but when you're upside down, since the course automatically flips you over, then like you can't really save yourself. Also, not getting full refill on lap 1's kind of dumb. Oh, that was really bad. I almost died there. Air ground glitch could be a save. I mean, I've never actually gotten air ground glitch and then survived afterwards, so. Also, that would have been a PB if not for the PB that I just got earlier before the run. Even though that was like awful. Apparently my PB there was super bad. This course is like super tough, but it is pretty cool. There's liftoff here you can get with a pretty precise rail slide if you get up to enough speed like that. You can set up for double tap dive. The double tap dive wasn't the fastest, but it worked, I guess. And then sliding on this pipe's like really hard to do. It's like really easy to, if you like slightly go too far in or out instead of just like staying on the top perfectly. Really easy to get thrown off and then die. So I think this is the first time ice is, well, it's the second time ice has appeared actually. So I was thinking about whether or not I wanted to go for that double tap dive. Usually the setup isn't too bad. You just drift and then you wait a moment. Oops. I get flipped off now. Oh, I ended. Wow. Usually you just like wait a moment and then start the dive, which I tried to do but I messed up. So I guess I won't go for it now. It's just so tempting when like you're already in the you're already set up drifting on the wall, so you already have like a good angle for it. Yeah, so as far as ice, when you're on it, you pretty much have zero control. The vehicle can just turn freely and then nothing happens. I was cutting it pretty close on getting too far away from the cylinder. Oh, okay. I should also do a boost drift on this one, but like whenever I do, I always die to this last little turn if I do that. So I'm not going to. Oh my god, that was so close to dying. But I survived it, so everyone was really slow, but it's fine. That was like 9 seconds off my PB, I think. I guess like 8 point something. Yeah, 8.1. This course is a really wavy, like up and down course, and it's just kind of a mess. I'm like really sloppy on this course, and like PV's really bad. And I don't know how it's possible to have a clean run on this course. It's just such a mess. Missing that booster. I don't know, it's just really easy to like miss boosters and stuff. And crash into walls and such other stuff, but it was actually the last staff ghost that I beat, so I had like no idea what to do until the tutorial came out. Even still, with the tutorial, I feel like I have no idea what to do, but so yeah, when like you lift off like that on the upslopes, then since like your vehicle is pointed up, you like instantly lose all your speed. So I have to like hold down as I go over the lumps sometimes, and if I don't, that happens. It's hard to like steer by like holding up left or up right. Okay, good. I thought I was gonna hit that wall a little bit harder than I did. That was really slow, but that's fine, I guess. So this is second to last course. This is actually a course from the original F-Zero, the SNES version, except they kind of ported it to this, and they made like some slight changes, like the course height and stuff like that, since the SNES version didn't have 3D height on courses. It's just got a bunch of turns. It's good for drifting and stuff. Although a lot of the turns are like a little bit too narrow to drift, especially on like boost laps. That one. Probably shouldn't have even like drifted it. If you do it right, you can drift it, but I did not there. Also, sometimes when you're doing rail slides, it's like kind of like bounce like that. It's really weird. Just depends on the wall. Like in that case, that wall does that. So I'm about to die. Yeah, figured. I saw that coming. Also, there's like a little tiny skip at the beginning on lap 2 and 3 that you can do there that I kind of forgot to do on that lap 2. It doesn't skip very much, but I could also just like double tap turn that, but usually better than that. Yeah, so that's the skip. That wasn't too bad. That was top 5. I might have actually been second place. Ah, third, okay. Okay, so last course here, big hand. Pretty cool course, it's a hand. I guess it'd be a right hand if the hand was placed down on paper. Remember having this discussion whether or not it was a right or left hand. It depends on which way the palm is facing down or up, but I would think it'd be modeled after like a hand being placed down on paper that like you trace, so probably right hand. Anyway, this course is home to one of my favorite strats in all of speedrunning, which will be on lap 2. I'll talk about when I get there. Yeah, drifting these turns is pretty tough, because a lot of them are pretty sharp. Also, this last one doesn't have walls, but fortunately it's a lot like wider turns, so it's not as bad.
You got boost power.
Ah, rip.
3, 2, 1.
Yes, it's pretty easy to die by trying to take those turns just a little bit too tight. And, I don't know, it's just really easy to die on this course in general. It's also like, I think the longest course in the game. The record's like a 146, and I'm pretty sure that's longer than anything else.
You got boost power.
Alright, favorite strat of all time is pit stop, which I completely messed up because I accidentally pressed B. But yeah, basically you like brake and then slow down to like a complete stop during that refiller. So you get enough like boost to make it through these turns, because you don't get very much here at the end. But yeah, I completely messed it up because I accidentally pressed B, so I didn't actually slow down very much. And I was braking. Feels bad, man. Also, I wouldn't be surprised if I like die at the end here because I don't have any energy. I just like accidentally hit a wall or something. Okay, I'm just gonna do that because I don't want to die. Okay. These turns are like a billion times easier to take with boost, just due to the way that boost drifting works. Anyway, that's time. I forgot to say time's coming up, but yeah, I just really didn't want to die, so I was like, alright, whatever it takes. So yeah, that's F-Zero-X. Pretty fun game. You guys should play it. It's a good racing game. And thanks for watching.